Welcome students. In the earlier classes, I have introduced to you the anatomical laboratory and a brief introduction about the subject of anatomy and physiology. Today we are going to learn about the definitions of anatomy and physiology. As we know that the human body is highly technical and sophisticated machine. It operates as a single entity, but it is made up of many complex and number of systems that works interdependently. Each system has its specific functions. If it fails, it may reduce the ability of the body to function normally, and it is a complex in body structure and function. Now we are going to see the definition of anatomy. Anatomy is the structure, it is the study of the body structure and physical relationship between the body systems. Means how the body is made up of, like skin, muscles, nerves, bones, etc. And what is physiology? Physiology is the study of the functions of the body part which maintains life and health. Means how each part of the body does the different types of work. For example, hands has a different function of doing the things, and the leg has different functions of walking or running. Eye has the different function, that is seeing, and the ear has a different function of hearing. So each body parts has a different function, and the study of these science is known as physiology. What is pathology? Pathology, it is the study of the abnormalities and how they affect the body function and causing illness. Means if anything goes wrong in our body, in our system, or in any one of the organs of the body, then it may cause us pain or discomfort, and later on, if not taken care of, then it might lead to serious illness. Now, we will see the levels of the structural complexity. In the earlier class, I have explained to you the lowest level is the chemical. Atoms, they combine together and they form the molecules, and they are vast number in the human body. Cells are trillions in our body. We cannot count them, only we can see them under the microscope. Each cell carries a specific function, the smallest independent units of living matter in the body. Tomorrow or later, we will learn detail about the cell, tissues, organ, etc. The second level is the tissues. Cells with the similar functions are known as tissues. Means many cells grouped together forms one tissue. What is organ? Organs are made up of a number of different types of tissues, and they carry out the specific functions. System. It consists of a number of organs and tissues that together contribute to one or more survival needs of the body. Now we will see there are two types of environments, internal environment and external environment. Internal environment means what is in the body. It is the water-based medium in which body cell exists. Means 70% of human body consists of water. Cells are bathed in fluid called interstitial fluid. Oxygen and nutrients pass through the internal fluid, and cellular waste products is excreted. It moves through the interstitial fluid to transport system to the excreted or to the urinary system. What is external environment? It surrounds the body and provides the oxygen and nutrients required by all body cells. Waste products of cellular activity are eventually excreted into the external environment. Means external environment is atmosphere. From atmosphere we take oxygen, we breathe in oxygen and that gives the life to our body. Also we take the light, vitamin D, that also helps to strengthen our bones and teeth, etc. All the vegetables, fruits, etc., whatever we eat as a food, it provides a nutrition and it gives sustenance to our body. Now, what is homeostasis? The balance between the internal environment and the external environment is known as homeostasis. Each cell is surrounded by the plasma membrane, which provides a potential barrier to substance entering or leaving. It has a selective semi-permeability. This prevents large molecules moving between the cell and the interstitial fluid. Smaller particles can usually pass through the membrane. Therefore, chemical composition of the fluid inside is different from the outside of the cell. Just as I said, as homeostasis, it is the composition of the internal environment. It is tightly controlled and it is fairly constant, and that is known as homeostasis. Literally, it means unchanging, but practically it is dynamic, it is ever-changing. Cells in contact with the environment and internal environment, and cells not in contact with external environment. Homeostasis is maintained by a control system that detects and responds to the changes in the internal environment. Now, a control system has three basic components, that is detector, that determines the limits within the variables or the changes. Second is control center. It receives an input from the detector or sensor. It integrates the incoming information. Effector, when incoming signals indicate that an adjustment is needed, the control center responds and its output to the effector is changed. Means, suppose if in the external environment there is too much of heat, what do? We try to search for the fresh air or the cool air so that our internal environment is not threatened. The same way, if it is too cold in the external environment, what do? We try to cover ourselves to protect ourselves with the sweater or shawl or with other articles or the linen, and then we maintain our normal human temperature, the body temperature. So, it is the balance between the internal environment and the external environment known as homeostasis. Thank you.